This video is designed to help you start a retail business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a retail business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful retail business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. While having a catchy concept is great for business, your retail store won't flourish without sufficient funds. Creating a budget for your new business can seem overwhelming, but if you have an understanding of where the big costs are coming from, it's much easier to tackle. Location. If you are selling in person, location is extremely important when you open up a store. A good location means foot traffic and regular customers, and that optimal space comes at a price. So when you're assessing the startup cost of your retail space, think about the cost of a deposit as well as funds you may need to remodel, improve, or customize the space. If you are selling online, you'll want to consider the costs of producing and hosting your website. Rent. In addition to the initial cost of your brick-and-mortar location, you need to consider the rent of your storefront. Rent is a monthly cost, based on the square footage of the space, as well as the real estate value of the physical location. Places that see high foot traffic or are in popular areas see higher rents. Utilities. Monthly utility expenses are largely influenced by the cost of electricity and gas, where you live, and the size of your space. The area's climate also influences your electricity costs, but on average retail spaces in the US spend $1.21 per square foot on electricity. When you think about merchandise costs, you should include the initial cost of your merchandise, as well as the holding cost, the cost of storing the inventory. Once you have these initial costs for inventory, you can forecast monthly inventory costs that affect your ongoing budget. Merchandising equipment. Retailers have to think about costs of the equipment that supplements their products, too. First, think about how you'll display your product at your retail store. Some products require hangers and mannequins, while other products may require shelves and display cases. Next, think about labeling the price of the product. Do you need additional supplies for price tags? Employee costs. To run a retail store effectively, you may need to hire employees to run the day-to-day operations. Aside from wages, salary, and other benefits, you need to think about the cost of training, doing payroll, and managing things like time cards, which you can do with employee management software. Technology. To run your business effectively, you need to invest in proper technology and equipment from the beginning. When you first open a retail store, you must choose a robust retail point-of-sale system, with integrated technologies for your business. And if you can find a POS built for retail, all the better. You might also invest in a security system to keep products safe from theft, burglary, and other related crimes. Marketing. People often overlook marketing costs when they are putting together a budget for opening a business. Some starting costs to consider include the design of a logo, business cards, and website, in addition to any initial promotional campaigns you might run to build your brand. You want to create a marketing strategy that best fits with your growth model, to suss out what those initial campaigns look like, and how much they might cost. Finding an optimal retail location. As we've already said, your physical location can affect the success of your business. Because it is so important, finding a retail location for your store can be time-consuming. Asking yourself these questions can simplify the process. Do you need a brick-and-mortar location? Brick-and-mortar shops are absolutely necessary in some industries, but online retail has been growing substantially. Retail businesses can go about this in a few different ways. Some owners consult with large e-commerce retailers, like Etsy or Amazon, that will sell their products on their platform. Others start an online store to stay ahead of competitors. Where will your customers find you? Think about the area where your target customer resides. Do they live in a specific neighborhood, or shop in selective places? If so, narrow your search to these places. You may want to think about other businesses your customer enjoys, and narrow your search down to these locations as well. For example, if your target market is similar to that of a high-end restaurant, look at areas with swanky dining establishments. Who is your competition in that location? Of course, once you've narrowed it down to an area, you also want to do some research on the competition. Are there a lot of competitive stores close by? If so, you have to determine if you think that will help or hurt your business. How much space do you need? Once you have your desired location mapped out, you have to actually select a space. The square footage has a direct impact on the overall costs of your retail business, so think about how much room you actually need. When determining space, think about merchandise display areas, dressing rooms, inventory storage, Back office space. The next part of the video is not specific to a retail business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the retail business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful retail business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice, may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, How much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into two parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a retail business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free retail business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.